What's happening, fellas? Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to talk about Victor Wembanyama and the turnaround with the Spurs. You got to think about this young core. It reminds you of like a young core like the Thunder. They're a young team, inexperienced in the playoffs, but they're doing their thing, and they are one win away from the Western Conference Finals. You have to think about this team where they were like 2 years ago or even last year. It's like they're trying to get over the hump, but they just couldn't. You got to think of the additions of this team. You got De'Aaron Fox, who is a dog as the point guard. You got Dylan Harper, who drives in the paint and is a tough rookie. So this team is a very interesting team. And in my mind, it is so crazy to me to think how far they have actually come, because we're going to really talk about the Spurs and Wembanyama. You have to think about the Spurs, that they are known as a big man franchise. They've had Tim Duncan, David Robinson. They've had all the great big men for the Spurs. MVPs for the big man on the Spurs is what they're really known for, So, Wembanyama really has brought the defensive effort, the intensity, everything that you want. He loves the defensive end, and he has changed them from really a rebuilding team to a major contender. Like I said, they are one win away from the Western Conference Finals and taking. OKC is waiting, so Chet and Wembanyama will go after it, but the Spurs still need to get one more win, and do not count out the Timberwolves. Expect Anthony Edwards to come and play. He is not going to go down with a fight, but in my honest opinion, I really think Wembanyama and the Spurs are a little too much for the Timberwolves to handle, and I really think it's going to be the Spurs and OKC in the Western Conference Finals, and him and Chet are going to go after it. The Slim Reapers, slim body big man, but they're both two-way players. So look, what he brings is the blocking ability, the rim protection, the ability to play inside and out. He's not just elevating himself, he's really elevating his teammates to be better, version of themselves, actually. So, and he has improved his offensive efficiency. When you have a big man that brings the intensity, he brings integrity as well. But you also got to think, like, he did hit that mean little elbow, which showed a little bit of immaturity. But besides that, I think he just really lost his cool in the moment. Wembanyama absolutely put throat to his Adam's apple. I was like, oh my God, this is what happens with a young player when they get frustrated and things aren't going that way. He really did deserve to get ejected for that, but no suspension or fine is actually crazy. So, but the thing is, the talk about the elite defense that he brings that changes this team. The on-court transformation completely altered the team's defense, and structure. And he is a one-man wrecking crew with this team. He brings the blocks. He averaged 25 points per game in the regular season. So right now, I remember y'all saw he had a 12-block game against the Timberwolves, and he is averaging 5.6 blocks per game. Yeah, you heard that right. Oh my goodness. He is not a rim protector. I've never seen a rim protector like him. I think he's doing really good as, his third year in the league, and this is his takeover season. This is his flight season. So I really think that this Wembanyama and the Spurs will, be in the playoffs year in and year out, in my honest opinion, on the trajectory of this team, and he has 28 blocks in 5 games in the postseason, which is actually absurd to me, and has that 12 block games against the Wolves. And, he is showing out Gobert, saying, I am the defensive player of the year. I am here to stay. And he is bringing the intensity on Gobert. And he's just trying to prove why he's the better big man. We all know he's the better big man because Gobert can't obviously shoot, but they're both really good rim protectors. But, Wemby is absolutely putting the wrecking ball on Gobert, saying, you cannot guard me and I will show you why, is what he is saying with his chest. So, the thing is, the offensive pivot for, that he brings as well, and all the Spurs together collectively, he improved his scoring to 24.4 points per game. And, he had improved shooting from behind the arc. He can shoot the 3 ball really well for a big man. And one of the better big man shooters besides probably Karl Anthony Towns. But, he's shooting just over 36% from behind the arc. And, like I said, it's just not Wembanyama. It's really the whole team. You got two-way players all around. Like I said, De'Aaron Fox was a massive pickup. I think this is his second year with the Spurs. But you remember, he had this season, De'Aaron Fox is doing his thing. He is averaging about 17 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game, and 7.7 assists. He is really doing it all on the court. He is probably one of the fastest guards in the NBA with his speed with ball ratio. So I really think De'Aaron Fox was a golden pickup for the Spurs to be successful. And this could be a really good team heading into the future. I could really see this team winning a chip. I really can in Wemby's year 3. So we'll just have to see what the future holds for them. This is De'Aaron Fox's second playoff run. If y'all remember a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, De'Aaron Fox played with the Kings, and they had a playoff run against Golden State Warriors, and he happened to lose to the Warriors 4-3 in Game 7s. And, De'Aaron Fox was averaging 27 points per game. And that was a big reason why the Spurs picked him up, because they felt like he was a caliber starting point guard that can put points up for the team and find the open shooters as well. And he is proving that. He's almost a 20 points per game scorer, and he's just doing his thing. What Wembanyama and the Spurs are showing is maturity. Besides, I mentioned the elbow that Wemby had, which was a frustration foul. He's showing maturity in like a playoff atmosphere type of setting where the intensity is high, the pressure is high when the game is tight, and also showing and overcoming adversity when adversity strikes. Is like, how will you respond when the game is this close of a game? Will the pressure get to you, or will you rise to the occasion, is what it comes down to. He has that I do not care mentality who is coming to the rim. He is going to meet whoever comes at the rim, and it just shows that he was averaging over 5 blocks per game, and he is leading this team to the best of his ability. So he led this team to 50 wins on the season. So and he's trying to lead his team to the finals in year 3. And he's a young 20-year-old, so we'll just have to see what the future holds. This is year 3 for Wemby. This is his takeover season. This is, like I said, his flight season. So he is ready to fly and soar. And I think this team is made to win a championship. And we'll just have to see what will happen against the 2 games left in this series, if they can get past the Timberwolves, which I think they will. So, and he won the first unanimous defensive player of the year as well. So, And what is crazy to me, in his rookie season, he had 254 blocks, and he did not win Defensive Player of the Year. I think that was Gobert for the Timberwolves that won the Defensive Player of the Year award. And this year he has 197 blocks with 3.1 blocks per game in the regular season. And as being a rookie having that many blocks, he was the second rookie to ever do so. So what do you guys think? Do you think this Spurs team could potentially get past the Timberwolves and knock out the champs in the Western Conference Finals and perhaps advance to the finals? And Wembanyama's year 3, Dylan Harper has been helped. Like I said, De'Aaron Fox is their big 3. Harrison Barnes has been making his shot. So this team is very interesting. So just let me know what you guys think, man. Subscribe to the channel, and we can only grow from here. So peace out, fellas. Let's go.